Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine, and I'm here with Quentin Desermont, who's the president of Traveler Made, but also the Serandipians. We're going to learn about we're going to go over who Traveler Made is, what Traveler Made is. We're going to talk about its conferences and its history. We're going to talk about what are travel designers and what is the Metaverse. All here on Insider Travel Report. Quentin, thank you for being with us.
Hello, Alan. Such a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. And you're coming to us usually from Paris, but where are you now?
I am in Sri Lanka. Just now I'm in Colombo at the Taj Hotel.
And this is a pleasure trip?
No, it's always a pleasure to work in this industry, as you know. It's business. I'm here on the roots, on the tracks of serendipity. Serandipians is our new name in our community since the 29th of September last year. Serandipians is a derivative of the word serendipity. We are Serandipians because we are believers in serendipity. Serendipity is a word that was created by an English man, Sir Horace Walpole, at the end of the 18th century, after a legend created by a Persian poet in 1304. Serendip was the Persian name of Sri Lanka.
Traveler Made is a consortia of travel advisors who specialize in luxury, and so much so that we call them travel designers. Am I correct in that? And that you can't just join, you need to be invited. Tell us more about that.
Yes. For us, it's very important. We don't call us a consortia, we call us a network community, a family sometimes. Travel designers is very important. It's like we create from scratch entire trips, entire travel experiences for our clients. So we're not advising them, we go beyond that. In designing, we try to understand what they like, what they want, their passion, what they hate, and from that, we create. To be a designer is also to be a creator.
And I guess as you say that, I start to feel why you would consider, the designers are trying to put together trips that have serendipity in them. Is there a connection there?
It's interesting. Yeah, good question. So the serendipity concept is, you're very familiar in your culture, guys, about the meaning. It's not very much used in any other culture. It's a beautiful word. It's a word that means going on an adventure, like the book, the legend, The Three Princes of Serendip, going on an adventure and being very thorough, show proof of sagacity to go and get something. And finally, finding something that would potentially change the course of your life. So I think in our industry, it's very important to be obsessed with that. Not only logistic quality. Quality, perfection is the basis, the cornerstone of our industry. But like any luxury brand, if you don't add a good 50% of emotions, of desirability, then you're not luxury. So this is what we're doing now. We're moving to something we believe a lot more emotional, and by leveraging this expression.
And now, and you bring up the word emotion, and every year you have your conference, and it's always about a certain topic. Emotion was one of your topics for how to sell better, and you have another conference coming up. What's the topic for that one?
It's interesting. So we have a natural flow in our conferences. We're starting with the haute façon. The haute façon meaning the top end of an industry, like the haute couture, for instance. And then we move to what is luxury branding? How do you build luxury brands? The whole concept of branding is very important. And then we move to storytelling. A brand that doesn't storytell is not a luxury brand. And then emotions. And now this new conference will be about desirability. Or in other words,
so it was about storytelling 3 years ago. The virtual one was about emotions, and now it's about.
And now it's going to be about desirability. Desire is very important in luxury branding. Brands must be desired by their clients, by their yes, by their VIP clients. You know, it's more than I want a product because it's quality. No, I
The
I I
yearning.
want I want a bag because it brings me something else, something emotional, like status, like glamour, like fashionability, like many other topics that are soft topics, emotional topics.
This is what's so interesting about Traveler Made and Serandipians, is that they get into the very essence of luxury and how it makes us feel and why we would want it and how to sell it. So desirability is, so that's the topic. And so you usually have wonderful speakers who really can speak to a topic. What are you planning on that?
Yeah, so I can't inform you yet, but we always bring in our conference speakers from the luxury goods industries. We're fortunate in Europe to have good talents on this topic. It's important to understand that the concept of luxury branding was invented here. It has nothing to do with branding. It's a very different thing. And we bring these guys. So some are teachers, writers, researchers, others are experts in luxury brands. And we always have a red thread, and we ask them to do an exercise with us and to play the game and answer. The idea is not for them to tell us what to do. The idea is for them to share with us the key recipes of their success, and then for us to try find ways to be inspired by their success and to adapt it to our industry.
That's where I want to start. So in 2019, you had a conference. It was live, and you had great numbers of people coming and having tremendous meetings. And then, as far as I know, when you pulled the plug on your next meeting, you were the first organization to go completely virtual with their conference, and it was quite a success. Let's talk about that for a moment.
No, yes, in 12 days, on the 10th of March 2020, when we saw that Italy was shutting down, we were 12 days before our show in Marbella started, and we decided to stop the physical show and to move quickly to a virtual solution. We don't like the word virtual anymore, so we're still going to have a hybrid show. There will be a physical show in Marbella.
So I was going to ask you, so this next one will have both?
Yeah. The end of March will be Marbella, and the second half of February, starting next week, will be the Ubiquitous show.
So that's, I see. I can always fall down the hole of saying the wrong word. So it's no longer virtual, it's ubiquitous.
It's ubiquitous. Yeah, it's more a beautiful, it's a more beautiful word.
I get it. So this next show is hybrid of ubiquitous and live.
Yes.
And let's give everyone the dates, and can they go, or do they need to be a member?
Well, yes, it's for member travel designers and for suppliers, DMCs, brokers, hotels, lodge. We're closed now. The registrations are closed, and everything, we're now in full motion on operations.
Will travel advisors be able to access any of the content after the fact?
Right. So the show in Marbella is where we will reveal the conference live on the 28th of March, on Monday afternoon. And we are thinking of putting together a solution for members and partners who attended Ubiquitous or who couldn't come to either one or the other, to be able to share with them the content of our conference.
So that's for the members, but you're not catering at all to the travel advisors at large. It's up to them to apply and show that they do more than just sell travel, but that they get involved with the desires of their clients and design. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely correct. We're looking for what we call here small and beautiful, like-minded travel designers, people who have a vision, people who are looking for always trying to do something new, something else.
So what are the numbers now? What does it look like? How many are ubiquitous and how many are showing up live?
So total, we're going to be 600, maybe a little more. In comparison to 2020, we were going to be 1,000 in Marbella. So now we're going to be 600, 650, two-thirds in Marbella and one-third ubiquitous.
And with all of the conferences that have been going on successfully, what will your protocols be? How did you decide to run this?
Yes, we're going to apply the best rules in Spain, in Marbella, but also in Europe.
We go out to more than 98,000 travel advisors in the US and Canada, sprinkling here and there in other places in the globe. What do you want them to know about Traveler Made and Serandipians? And how can they get involved if they want to apply?
Serandipians, we announced the new brand on the 8th anniversary of the creation of our network community, end of September. So we're still growing carefully with the same vision, but trying to fine tune who we are and what we want. And we're going to keep recruiting the best small and beautiful, like-minded travel designer agencies all over the world. We're very international. That's a fantastic asset for me from here, but for all of us. We can share best practice anywhere. Europe is obviously a big chunk. We have 40% of our agencies are European. We're very strong in Russia, in Eastern Europe, Russia CIS, in India. We have a very good base of agency in China. And we have 88 agencies in Northern America. So we're quite happy with this evolution, but we go slowly. And we are looking for people who are very much into adventure travel, who are very much into trying to create fantastic experience, new ideas, outstanding dreams for our clients. People have been willing to travel more and more. We're fortunate in a way during these 2 years. Most of us, we had a big local or regional market. So we could take our travelers nearby, but that's not the main business. That's not what we're made for. We're made for taking them on an adventure far away. And people are eager to spend money, to travel, to make adventure, family, multi-generation. They want to rediscover the world. It's going to be something fantastic when we'll be able to go back to New Zealand, Australia, to South America, when everyone have their own dream, and people are crazy for it. I think they will be surprised, they will be amazed, they will be enchanted. They will be enchanted by traveling again. I think in the past, some people traveled so much that they were started to be blasé. I think now people will be so enchanted to travel that we have a big role to play. They're waiting for us, the whole industry. Especially the industry has been suffering, obviously for lack of business, but also lack of staff when we reopened, difficulties in training, difficulties in servicing our clients properly. Clients understood it. We're going to have to be really good in the coming month, coming years. People have high expectations.
The Serandipians are embracing new technologies. What are you doing with the Metaverse? Is it another tool to help people visualize this kind of travel that is desired?
All right, so you probably saw on social media our little video, the Metaverse, where I am being avatarized and I'm playing games. Hey guys, any clue about the creative peak trend for 2022? Let's go on a quest to find it. Come on. Wow, you really don't want to miss this. Why why do we do that? Because it's what we call the trend of the year. At our show, as you might remember, at the end of the show, we work with a trend observatory agency, and we bring a trend that is a trend in fashion and luxury. That is something becoming a trend in fashion and luxury that we also apply to our industry. Because I want all of us to stop being passive, and we need to innovate. If we want to do luxury, we should also be surfing on the air du temps, on the news. You know, people want to see something new. Fashion are really good at that. I'm not expecting us to be as fast and reactive as fashion, but we need to be doing something else.
No, but I know you use fashion as a template, that they are always receptive to change, and you're saying travel needs to be as nimble as fashion. Continue though.
Yes, and so every year we've been bringing a trend, and this year, obviously, we're going to talk about the metaverse. Metaverse is a trend that will, by the way, help brands to be more desirable in certain ways. So what does metaverse mean for us? You might have seen that many luxury brands, luxury goods brands, have taken over the metaverse. So maybe for the first time, these guys are being savvy on technology. Usually they're very late. You remember the website were bad. On social media, it took them a lot of time to jump. Now they're all in it. They are selling bags with NFTs. It's crazy. So what we want to do here is start to initiate in the whole industry the thinking of what will be the metaverse for us. How can it be useful? How can we leverage it in the future? Obviously, we're not ready yet to go into it because we need to wait for all the tools to be ready, to be effective. Second Life is coming back slowly. They're not there yet. We're waiting for Facebook to make a move. And they announced the big move officially when they rebranded themselves Meta. But they're investing a lot of money into that. What's going to happen? We don't know. But it's going to be an augmentation of the existing tools, is my bet. So it will be a better way to inform our clients in many different ways before, during, and after the trip. I think it's going to be an amazing way of sharing information, and probably more.
So my understanding is we will have avatars, and we will preview products possibly in the metaverse. Is that what the feeling might be?
That could be one solution, yes. Instead of just watching a flat screen, we will have new technologies that will immerse us in something more sexy and more efficient. Mm-hmm. And yes, why not? Why not? I mean, have an avatar could be a solution.
And I don't know that we've effectively used some of the technology we already had with 360 viewing and things like that. I'm hoping they merge and that becomes part of the metaverse.
Yeah, and I think we shouldn't be passive here, expecting these guys to create things. We should be asking what we want. Do we want holograms? Do we want a 3D solution on screens, or the famous big heavy glasses that are not very comfortable? Do we find something else where we can have a fantastic experience? It will never replace travel. Nothing will ever replace travel, physical travel, but it will be a very nice support, I think. When you think at many experiences that want to be featured, when you look at the screen, when you visit a hotel and you see the room, and then you take a video, has nothing to do with what you've really seen actually or experienced. So I think the sky's the limit. It's only the beginning. So let's all of us think of it, embrace it, and start to spend a little money, start to invest a little bit in that to see where we can go and to show the world that we are not, again, at the end of the chain.
Is there anything else that you can think of that you want travel advisors to know about what you're doing?
Yes, I'm really happy to have announced at the beginning of December at the President's Club in Marseille, just before ILTM, the launch of our corporate social responsibility label called Pristine Mood. It's not another label. There are not so many labels actually in luxury travel. Our industry represent 10% of the world's GDP. We are the tip of this industry. And I think we should really now start to move and show the example. So here, what we're doing is something integrated. So our label is made first for travel designers, then for the MCs, then for brokers, then for hotels and lodge. It's very important that we don't create complicated monsters, super difficult labels to achieve. It's very important that, on the contrary, that we educate as many people in our industry to jump into it. When we started to think of it a year ago, we looked at the SDGs from the United Nations. And the simple fact that you look at it, you start to get so interested. You start to, I mean, I've been sensibilized in the last 5 years on the topic, but now, my God, everything I'm doing, I'm thinking, am I doing right? And we've been making mistakes, all of us.
It's not just where you expect it to be on the African safari, and we're talking about the animals, and that makes you think of social responsibility. But no, it's in every single product, you're saying.
Yes, and in our offices, we have an office in New York, in Mumbai, in Paris, in Shanghai. We need to do something in our office, together and work together, the team. We need to have, manifestos that we share with all our stakeholders, suppliers, clients. We need to move full speed now, but educating is key. If we don't bring the entire industry together, starting to think, slowly, step by step, and then moving up and starting to do more complicated stuff.
Is it we're only as strong as our weakest link and we need to move everybody along? Is that what you're saying?
This is so true. Thank you for bringing that expression. That's exactly what it is.
Quentin, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I love your innovation. I can't wait to see you in Spain, and good luck to you.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Alan. Take care. See you in Marbella, end of March.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.